Anyway, let's talk to Naomi Bennett, who's a registered nurse practitioner, because we saw a story yesterday in The Guardian in which it said that there may well be some kind of looming nurses' strike, because nurses are now doing what I think the junior doctors did last year, which is basically looking for an inflation-busting pay rise of possibly 15%. They've been offered 2.8. They're not happy with that. So let's see what Naomi can say. Naomi, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
So what's the situation then? You did get a pay rise, did you, I think, last year, of a smallish amount, but you are now asking for more, is that right?
I understand the anger that many nurses feel, because our pay has stagnated. Services are collapsing and we're carrying the burden of the NHS in crisis.
Yeah.
But as a nurse and the founder of Equality for Black Nurses, I don't support the proposed strike, not because I don't believe we deserve more, but because the strike will risk patient safety and further destabilise a system already on its knees. Worse still, many of the unions calling for this action have become complicit. They claim to speak to us nurses, but I've seen how they abandon black nurses during disciplinary cases. They ignore racism and protect the same managers causing harm. What we need isn't just a pay rise, we need a complete reset. And we believe that fairness and equity must be the foundation of recovery. And without that, no percentage uplift will stop nurses leaving. Striking without reform is like putting a plaster on a broken bone.
And so in terms of your basic sort of pay at the moment from the Nurses Union, the Royal College of Nursing, you're quite happy with that then, are you?
Like I said, I believe in fair pay.
Is it fair though? Do you think it's fair now?
Well, obviously with the nurses that I work with, a lot of them are kind of just going along with it, and the problems for them is not so much the pay, it's more the conditions and the treatment and the hostility that they have to deal with day in, day out.
Right.
So, in terms of, what I'm basically saying is people are not just put off by the salary. They're watching a profession where whistleblowers are punished, racism is tolerated, and burnout is the norm. That's the real deterrent.
Right. Have you had this conversation with Wes Streeting?
No, I haven't actually, no.
You should. You should ask for a meeting with him, shouldn't you?
Oh, I'm sure he's very busy. He's probably got so much going on.
Yeah, I know, but what you're talking about is a very existential problem inside of nursing. If people are really, really that unhappy because of the conditions they're having to work in, he needs to know that, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think what I'm basically saying is strikes are not our only weapon. Integrity is. And until our unions and institutions commit to fairness, equity and real reform, this profession will continue to bleed out. Literally one nurse at a time.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a problem. Well, I'm glad you don't want to go on strike, so let's hope that the rest of the Royal College of Nursing has that view as well. Naomi, thanks very much for talking to us. Naomi Bennett, registered nurse practitioner there, saying she doesn't believe in going on strike. But, of course, if they do go on strike, there will be a lot of patients who will be affected.